stormwater, and this will start with Mr. Price. Stormwater running off urban lands is one of the three main sources of water pollution that has harmed water quality in the James River and the Chesapeake Bay. And Newport News has miles of shoreline and a large amount of stormwater flowing into these waterways. Three of our local beaches, King, Lincoln, Huntington Park, and Hilton, have been plagued by unhealthy bacteria levels and frequent health department swim advisories. Studies have shown that reducing nitrogen, phosphorus, and sediment in stormwater is a significant way to clean up the river and the bay. Slowing the flow and allowing the water to filter on the land has been shown to reduce stormwater pollution. Virginia has adopted stormwater regulations which ask municipalities to implement strategies such as expanding natural areas, reducing pavement, planting trees, restoring wetlands, and creating living shorelines and fixing all sanitary sewer leaks. The question is, would you as a council member, or mayor in this case, support these regulations and strategies designed to reduce nutrient and sediment pollution and encourage our city to address the high bacteria problem at our local beaches?
The short answer is yes, and we are doing some things. Currently we have a major drainage reconstitution going on in the southeast, and that will help some of the stormwater problems that we're having right now. The other thing is that the Green Foundation, my spouse was on that for 8 years, and where we can purchase green land and keep it green, I am in favor of. Some of the other things we're doing as far as runoffs is that we're building smarter, and so we're having buffers that are made. We have regular cleanups, and I think if we continue what we're doing in the city, we will improve those conditions.
Thank you very much. Mr. Creekmore?
The question, I think I remember it correctly. You want to know about the Chesapeake Bay area and all that? How will that preserve it from stormwater management?
Would you support the environmental regulations to reduce nutrient and sediment pollution and address the high bacteria problem in our beaches?
Yes, I would. And there's a couple of ways we can do that. We can enforce mechanisms that are in place when it comes to the Chesapeake Bay and other areas, the tributaries that contribute to that. There's a review process, and we just have to make sure that we strengthen those and keep those strong. And that when there's development coming in or proposed in areas that are close to our tributaries and bay areas, protected areas, that we go through the process and make sure that we don't encroach upon those precious lands, those wetlands or those precious areas, green spaces, because they do help keep down flooding, stormwater from running into our precious waters and causing algae blooms, bacteria, and things like that. We want to preserve our shoreline. We want to keep it accessible to everyone. We want to keep our water supply healthy. And the best way to do that is to enforce the processes that we have in place, strictly.
Mr. Green?
So I may sound a little harsh at times, but I just think that we're slow in certain areas. I think that we're not looking at and understanding that certain things in our environment are caused by the human pollution and not having the right controls in place and not monitoring and looking at the right things. I don't think this is rocket science. I don't think that this is challenging. I think that it's something that we have to just do. It's great to have studies. It's great to use technology. It's great to understand the problem. But when there are challenges, that beach was closed for months, if I'm not mistaken, while someone was trying to figure out what the problem was. We need to be more proactive. When we talk about creating a smart city and green technology, and that's one reason I have this on, because we have to be in a position to be able to manage a lot of our environments, whether it's Riverview Farm Park, Huntington, Lincoln Park, which we didn't get to tonight. These are all areas that we know what the challenges are, and yet we're just kind of trudging along. We've got to do better. The environment doesn't wait for us. We've got to be proactive, and we have to put the right controls in place, and we're not doing that today.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Mr. Harris?
Yes, I would be in full support of making sure those regulations are being followed. With what we have in this area, with so much shoreline that we have, and we may not feel we have a lot of access to it, But to have the different vicissitudes that we face sometimes with our shorelines and with our waters, we have to be able to have those enforcements in place to make sure that everywhere is safe. We have children that go out there and play. We have families that go out there and enjoy it. And if it's not at a point where it's upkept, then we're failing them. We're failing our citizens when it comes to the amenities of our city. Our planning department, our sustainability programs that we have, they are vital in us being able to understand when development does take place, what is allowed and what isn't allowed. And it's up to us to make sure that we're enforcing that to the strongest.
Thank you very much.